good morning. Welcome to our kids' time today. It's November. It's great to spend a few minutes with you. And I brought myself a treat today. You know, I don't know if you have a favorite candy. I don't know that I have a favorite candy, but I certainly have like a list of things that I like a whole lot. And good thing I got a spare. All right. Anyways, as I was saying, O. Henry is one of them. I just actually love chocolate of all sorts of different kinds. And O. Henry is definitely one of my favorites. And so you don't mind, do you, if I just have a little snack while we do our lesson today? Because, oh man, this is so good. Now it's got the chocolate, the peanuts, and the caramel, the nougat. Oh, it's like a complete package. But listen, we're not just here for you to watch me eat candy today. We're going to talk about something else that's really good. Yeah? I wish you were here that I could share with you a whole bunch of candy and stuff. Your parents probably would hate that, but I wish we were. Instead, you're there, I'm here, and we are going to talk also about water. Man, we don't give this enough credit. Hey, hold on, I need a drink now. Water. I don't know. Do you have a favorite drink? I think water is definitely, I love all kinds, but man, water's got to be the best. Anyways, we have a story from Jesus today that we want to get into. And as you know, if you follow the story of Jesus, he spends a whole lot of his time traveling, right? He and his disciples go from one town to the next, to the next, to the next, and they're telling people about God and his kingdom. So, John records that as they were traveling along one day, they were going from the south in Jerusalem up to the north where most of his ministry happened. And they had a couple options, right? Do you ever do this, a road trip with your parents, and you come to like a divide in the road and you can go one way or you can go the other? Well, it's kind of like that. They could go the long way, which was the most common way, the most popular way, or they could go the shorter way. The shorter way meant going through an area called Samaria. Now, here's the reason why most Jews went the long way. It's because the Jews and the Samaritans didn't get along. They didn't like each other. They were often, each group thought they were better than the other group, and they just didn't get along at all. And so a lot of people would go around. But Jesus says, we're going to go through. So they go through. And they're traveling through, and they get to this one particular town, and they take a break. Jesus goes to the center of town. He hangs out at the well. Disciples, they go look for dinner. And they're going to find some food and bring it back. And Jesus is hanging out at the well. The Bible tells us in John that it's like the middle of the day. And he sits down. And eventually a lady comes, and she's going to draw water. And they strike up a conversation together. Right? Jesus kind of, says, Jesus spoke to the woman. He says, would you give me a drink of water? Simple question, right? Hey, you're here for water. Would you give me a drink? And then they get talking about water. But have you ever had those conversations with people where one person's talking about one thing, but the other person is talking about another? And you think you're talking about the same thing, and it sounds like you're talking about the same thing, but then you realize you are not talking about the same thing? Have you been there? Trust me, at some point in your life, you're going to have a conversation like that. And that's what happened to Jesus that day. He starts by asking about water. Normal water, she's going for water, they get water. But pretty quick, he starts talking about something else, a different kind of water. Kind of looked at this a little bit when Jesus was talking with the Pharisee, right? And Jesus talked about being born. And he's like, wait, born is this? And Jesus says, no, there's another kind of being born. Well, it's the same thing. Now, the next chapter of John 4, he's talking with this woman at the well, and we realize there's another kind of water. And I don't mean like fizzy water or flat water. Jesus starts talking about a living water. A water that's like alive, that brings life. But you think, without water, we would all die. Did you know that? 3 days. Like 3 days is like the max you can go without water and you would die. And Jesus starts talking about another type of water because there's another type of life. And that other type of life, that spiritual life, that being alive that way, needs a different kind of water to keep it going. And so Jesus is starts talking about that. So back to the lady at the well. She's a little surprised when Jesus asks for water. Do you know why? 2 reasons. It's uncommon. In fact, it's not appropriate, right, for a single guy and a single gal in that custom just to start chit-chatting. All right? You wouldn't do it. The men would talk to the men, the ladies would talk to the ladies. It would be different. So she's like kind of thrown off by that. But also, he's a Jew, she's a Samaritan. Also, the two, as I said, don't mix. They don't like each other. So she's thrown back. She's like, whoa, what's going on here? But they go on. Jesus says, look, if you knew who I was and what I could offer you and what I'm really asking, then you would be asking me for water. Now she's confused again. She's like, wait a minute, I would ask you for water? She's like, you're here at the well, you've got no bucket, nothing. How are you going to get me water? And that's when it happens. He's talking about that other kind of water, and she doesn't really get it yet. Then he explained that anyone who drinks the water from the well where they were, right? Normal water, this kind of water. Anyone who drinks this kind of water is going to get thirsty again. You know what? I had one little bite of that, and I'm thirsty. I know that if I eat something, so I'm going to get thirsty. This, even just give me time without anything eating, we get thirsty again. But, I get thirsty just talking. But, Jesus is talking about how, that whoever drinks the water he would give, right, the living water, would never get thirsty again. He says it would be like a spring of water welling up inside of them, giving life. Well, they go on for a while. Eventually, they talk about different ways of worshiping and about the coming Messiah. And eventually, she gets really excited. She realizes, look, everyone needs to meet this Jesus. He has something special. He is someone really special. So she leaves. She goes and tells everyone in the town, you got to come. Meet this man at the well. You got to meet him. So everyone comes on back. And as a result of this woman's testimony saying, hey, I've met this guy. You need to meet him too. And she goes to this house and to that house and to that friend and to that friend and this friend and all of her. And as a result of that, we have in John this record that many Samaritans came to believe in Jesus that day, right? She was, the word we would use, she was an evangelist. She started telling everyone about Jesus. Did you know that you can do that too? Just like this woman in John 4 telling all of her neighbors and her friends about Jesus, you can do that too. In fact, the Bible encourages you to do that. Right? Tell Jesus, tell people about Jesus, because he is someone special. But sometimes that can be a little intimidating. We're like, well, how do we do that? Well, for her, it was just simply come and meet him. Here's what I've learned. Let me share it with you. So, now you probably know that not everybody always likes hearing that message, but we still have the opportunity, even the calling to share it. Jesus came to the world to share his good news with everyone, no matter where they're from, what they look like, what their favorite things are, right? No matter what, Jesus came to tell others about God. The good news that God has made a way to overcome sin. So that the thing that keeps you from God can be removed and done away with, and you can come to him. So, for you this week, if you download the field notes, you're going to see a word search to kind of help you connect better with some of the big words that we're talking about and understand it a little deeper. But here I want to bring us back to our theme verse that we're working through right now, right? It comes right out of John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That's an important thing that we get to share with others, right? That God was alive, right? That Jesus was with God in the beginning, created all things, that Jesus is something super special that we should be passing on. So that's my encouragement for you guys this week, to think about, how can I be telling others about Jesus? How have I experienced him as someone who is special and making a difference in my life? And then how can I share that specialness on with others? All right? It's a big task. Trust you will be able to do it because God is with you, encouraging you through it. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time.